Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of Final Fantasy 13. I hope you've all been keeping well.
Nothing to worry about.
Hope and Lightning... what am I saying? They've been together so long, they're just synonymous. Hope and Snow have been getting on swimmingly. We're getting staggers, we're launching into the air, we're just a dynamic duo of good pals, where one just wants to murder the other. So, you know, it's basically like a Laurel and Heidi. Heidi Hardy, oh my god. I'm just not with it today, guys, sorry. But we have a new weapon for Snow, so we can see the little angel wings. They're his weapon, the embroidery on his trench coat. So the Paladin makes him a better Sentinel, which we definitely want because we don't have many of those. There's only 2 Sentinels and 2 Saboteurs. So they're only 2 Synergists. So those 3 classes are kind of the rarest. You have more 3 medics. Yeah. And loads of Ravengers. And 4 commandos. So yeah, like there's 4 medics, 4 commandos, and then 5 Ravengers across the 6 characters. So yeah, it's definitely the case where certain classes are more rare, I suppose, than others. But we're making our way through Palimpolum, murdering as we go. Looking for those incentive chips because we got a credit chip there. They sell for a little bit, but incentive chips just sell for so much more. And now that we're at the part where we're kind of collecting more party members, we're going to need to start upgrading, whether that's upgrading accessories, which arguably is better because you can just unequip and move the accessories around so it can impact the benefit of more characters. But obviously, if you're kind of like, no, I know one particular character, there's like an awesome weapon and I'm just going to be using them all the time, therefore I'm just going to upgrade their weapon, it obviously gives a huge individual boost, you know? But these guys are weak to lightning, so, you know, it's just the case of lightning with hope. We get a stagger really quickly and then launch them in the air and they're done. So it really isn't too hard. And we're getting 5 stars, which is great because we're regenerating our TP. I end up hearing the like hum of the treasure chest and I'm like, where is it? And then I eventually cut out me wandering up and down for way too long and then discover, oh, it's up along here. Now, I have to warn you guys about something, and it's something that I wasn't aware of until I had way too many hours of recording done. But there is a potential soft lock, but there you have the incentive chips. We love that for ourselves. But circling back, there is a soft lock game-breaking situation with this particular part of the game. Basically, we end up going into a cutscene that needs to load into another cutscene. I'm not sure what about it is tricky, but basically Steam wants to then create an autosave during that scene transition, and in that moment of the scene transitioning, the game crashes. And I replayed this part several times. So what you're watching now is actually like my first run through when I didn't realize there was something wrong. So there is the potential that there might be stuff that I collect here or do here that doesn't transfer forward because I just kept on running this gauntlet trying to make the cutscene work. So for example, the selling of these different things, like if you load up the game again, or we continue past this point and you notice, oh, you still have those, why is that? You're a hacker. I'm not that skilled at hacking. I can barely edit together a video, guys. So if you're noticing a discrepancy in the inventory situation, it's because the game crashed. And I probably was just running this gauntlet multiple times that I just didn't want to, I suppose, waste time. I just wanted to get to a point where I could be happier with how I was. But, you know, in our alternate timeline before disaster struck, you know, there's definitely different options that you can do. And if I could go further back in time, I just wouldn't have upgraded Snow's, you know, power circle when we learned we're getting the Paladin one. But here is the thing with these particular types of weapons. You'll notice it's like an 8 bonus to strength and an 8 bonus to magic. So the stat gains are minimal. But it's the fact that they have an auto ability, this improved guard. That's the whole point of the lower stats. It's because they give an additional passive ability to your character. And what's really powerful is that those passive abilities can synergize and link with other accessories that you might give them to get other like particular and powerful passive abilities, which obviously in the case of weapons that are just powerful and don't have any special property, you'll be missing out on those. So that's the kind of trade-off. So really, the Paladin is just for, yeah, you want Snow to just be the tank, be the best tank, and if you give him other defensive properties, he will get better synergistic, as in synergizing, as in well-aligned passive bonuses for tanking particularly. Whereas Hope is currently using his max magic weapon, but later on we might be changing it to one that makes him a much better synergist. And similarly, Vanille currently has the one that makes her better at being a saboteur, but there's equally one that's also, yeah, it can make her a more powerful healer, and in fact probably the best healer in the game, realistically. So it's around here that the issue started. We have one cutscene and that one was grand. So I'm just going to pause here and let that play out.
Not good.
Is there a problem? Now why don't you just calm down? Now what's going on?
I've got you.
I am a pulse machine! I'm here to kill you all! What are you doing? Clearing the area. They'll open fire on a crowd.
Snow does have a point. The Psycom people, they were at the point where their line was very simply, there is Lassie, they could be infecting other people and making more Lassie potentially, so just take them all out. And so Snow actually dispersing a crowd might be like, oh my god, he's being such a dummy, why is he like doing this, you know? No, he's actually being a bit clever. He's like, no, I'm not witnessing another, you know, purge bridge situation. We're just going to get all these people to scatter and to focus the attention onto us. Again, being a very good tank, drawing all the aggro and protecting the innocent and all of that. You'll notice I keep doing 2 levers, and that's because it basically takes 2 levers to get all of the information off a particular enemy, and we need to completely discover things about an enemy to get the lore master achievement, which is basically exactly what it sounds like, getting the lore, getting information. So you'll see there, every single thing was lit up with information, so we were good. And again, we're talking about all the different types of setup the game is trying to show you. So whereas before it was like Saz and Vanille were the buffing, debuffing, and Hope is like the defensive buffer, Snow is like the tank turtling. So if we had Vanille, let's say, with Snow, you could be deprotecting, protecting, all while Snow is just, you know, staying alive, drawing all the aggro, keeping all the attention, and then you could switch Vanille and Hope to two healers. They heal up Snow. They have all the positive protections. The enemies have been lowered of their defenses, and then you can just go on all-out attack and just win. So there really are near limitless combinations for the different types of party members you want to have, the different paradigms you choose to have, the different way you start a battle, the different way you end a battle. Like there is just so much there, which is great. Like even if you were to have, again, the exact same three party members, you could start off with Ravager, Commando, and Synergist. So it's like, yeah, you're focusing down one enemy, you're lowering, you know, you're building their stagger, Hopes in the background, throwing up protections, and then you can have a bit of a recovery mode, and then you can go all out attack again. Like, it all just depends on how and what you want to do. But it's this corner. After this particular corner, we end up with a cutscene that causes the crash. Now, here's the solution to the crash. You have to completely turn off your Wi-Fi connection, which disables your Steam autosave, which then lets you get by this crash. But I will show you after the cutscene.
Hey. You okay?
Leave her alone!
See, scum! Save the girl! Call the army!
Don't you touch her!
Protect Cocoon!
It's okay! You're okay now!
This is our town. Get out of here. Oh, great. You better run with sea scum. No mercy. We can take them. Why you have to ruin it? Kill the sea. Careful now. I'm not afraid of you.
Help
That was
us!
magic. We don't stand a chance. We can't fight that.
I'm sorry.
Time to go. Stop them! Empty those clear! Fire!
So yeah, it crashes there, right at that point when it's trying to load into the next cutscene. So once more, with feeling this was my goal run, so I literally just skipped the cutscene just to see would it crash. And basically what you have to do is completely turn off your Wi-Fi, play the game completely offline, and it'll work. It'll load through. But I honestly thought the run was dead before I even started it. So it was this many times where I realized, okay, no, I have to start editing because the the amount of time I'd spent playing, and I was like, oh, this would make me so sad if I can't finish this playthrough after putting in all that time and that extra grinding and stuff. And like, listen, I don't know, maybe another crash happens in the future. This is like present, as in at the moment when this goes live in maybe like a week. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, hopefully we still keep going. But at the same time, that was a real headache, and it did make me kind of really realize, no, I actually like love this series and want to keep going. But we have a cutscene, so I have to stop talking now.
Felix Heights is that way, right? Still pretty far. A great place for family living. So they say. Looks like it actually might be, huh?
Yeah, well, the Sea don't have family.
Hey, listen to me, kid. I'm an orphan. I barely got to know my family. But someday, I'm gonna have my own. Once I save Sarah and protect Cocoon.
How exactly?
It's a good question. I want to do what's right, but everyone hates l'Cie. Kinda hard to help someone that's trying to kill you. It'll be tough. But everything will work out in the end. As long as we stay together and hold on to hope.
We don't have any. The Sea's only hope is a quick death.
Is Hope entering his like evanescence phase? And like the symbolism of like the cute happy family being absolutely destroyed by like the gunfire. And then Hope's just like, hold on to hope, yeah right. It's just like, boy, you really were misnamed. But again, no, we can't be too hard on the chads that you have to lost his whole, well, his mother, you know, been nearly hunted down and kill, you know, we're gonna cut the kid some slack. I accidentally was a little mean to the child, and I apologize. But look, I'm giving him a magician's mark, so it's fine. I literally go and I'm like, oh, let's go defensive, and then it equips the better weapon. I'm like, ugh, no, give me back the give me back my paladin, you silly game. But what is interesting is that the game was like, oh, here, have like a lightning protect ring. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, a lot of the bigger bosses use lightning energy. Even though the soldiers use water, the other machines use lightning. But look at that. The shaman's mark is already like way more powerful than like a fully leveled up, well, not fully, but like a nearly fully leveled up magician's mark. Don't know how we snuck up on it. It must have just like ran out of its sensory stuff, but this guy is a problem, and this guy can target Snow, and this is where our synergist or our sentinel and synergy and medic really has to come into play. We have to watch this guy so carefully, because if he starts Gatling gun, we need to swap to our medic and sentinel and have Snow provoke and guard the attack. So I'm going to leave like fuller battles in to really kind of show off the fact that like, yeah, sometimes you need them because you will not survive the firepower that the enemy can dish out. It's legitimately too much. And you need your sentinel to just let you hunker down, apply your synergy buffs, and just kind of wait it out and tough out the offense until you get that stagger where you can then launch the enemy in the air and more than likely make it helpless. And that's where, if you had Snow, you'd have 2 commandos and a Ravager and just go to absolute, you know, hell on the enemy. But as you can see, I was like, oh, there's no treasure chest here, but then it shows you a whole little secret area that gives you 2 different treasure chests. So thruster bearings are really powerful. Artificial components, good for EXP. And this is now our beautiful new boomerang for Hope. The Windorfner. Probably butchered that name. But it has less magic, but it has the possibility of defense maintenance, which extends the duration of our protects and our shells. So, a very, very good thing for, you know, just being able to pop them up at the start of the battle, and odds are, by the time the battle's over, you won't need to reapply it, which is great. Now, here we have another one. And I skip over that one because I'm like, we've literally had that exact same fight. It doesn't kind of showcase a difference, you know? What do we get here? A Decepticol. So like, is it you're going like, maybe you want to use the sneaky Decepticol to get a preemptive strike on this, because this is not going to be easy. So, which do you focus down? You basically provoke everything, and then you just let Snow get his buffs. You let Hope buff up himself as well, getting Protect, getting Shell, and then we could have probably used Sentinel and just Hope on Ravager, and then swapping between those and Medic. And look, we see Gatling Gun, and then we need to swap to the Lifeguard Medic. I provoke. He's now provoked. He's going to be attacking me. And this is where auto battle fails us sometimes, because the other little jetpack guy wasn't provoked. It kept trying to provoke, whereas I should have just provoked, got the provoke on the motorbike, and then said grand into abilities, steel guard, and then start guarding, you know. But we just have to keep our HP high, because that Gatling gun is a death sentence. It really, really is. And you might be saying, why don't you just go attack the other thruster guy? And I would say the reason for that is that then the camera wouldn't focus on the motorbike. And if the camera isn't locked onto this guy, you won't really, you could miss the chance of seeing the command prompt for, oh, I didn't see Gatling gun, and now all of a sudden it's too late to intercept with Sentinel. So here we go, we see it, we go to Lifeguard, we provoke, quick, and then we quickly hop into Steel Guard. But look at this, by the time the end of the attack comes, we've just blocked so many hits of damage. Like, Snow was basically unhurt. And so this chapter, if we're going to call it anything, is the chapter of the Sentinel and the Saboteur, because Fang is literally the Sentinel and Saboteur, and it's just showcasing the strength of this class. It's literally telling you, listen, you can have all the squishy characters and throw up your shell and your defenses and stuff, but sometimes you will just need someone to draw the aggro, because the DPS is going to be too much, and your leader will fall. It unfortunately does de-incentivize you in using, let's say, Hope as a party leader going forward, just because he is so fragile that you would almost want to have Hope with a Sentinel of some sort, just so you have the option of, if things are getting dicey, the Sentinel can draw the aggro away from him, just because obviously the party leader dies, it's game over. But, you know, with characters like Snow, it's like odds are you're gonna survive it, you're gonna get by, there's not gonna be an issue, because it'll be a really, really big enemy that would need to take out Snow from like relatively high HP. Yes, Snow, you're just going backwards, love. Well, okay, no, I was actually going the wrong way there. But, like, Snow, you went one way and you just turned around to go backwards. There's no need to be like, I'm lost, my sense of direction is ruined. Oh, God. Also, I love how it's like, Hope, you know how to get home, right? And you're like, Snow, you are bringing me across rooftops and like these random corridors. I don't even know where we are nearly. Like, I don't know how Hope's like orientating himself back to his house in this sort of crazy shenanigans. Climbing over billboards and stuff. Who does he think he is? And I mean, listen, I left this in because I'm like, yes, sometimes there's going to be a slog. And again, I was like, right, started off on the wrong foot. We need to like provoke everybody, let the Sentinel do his stuff. And then once we get our Steel Guards up, by the time Steel Guard finishes, Hope will pretty much be finished buffing Snow. And so long as you kind of stay in as long as your leader stays Sentinel and they don't paradigm shift out of it, they actually stay guarding, which is pretty great. Except then you're like, provoke again, we've Gatling gun, why am I switching out of this? Oh my god, no, I just got so stressed. I just was like, I want to move to Lifeguard. And only for the fact that I managed to like switch back to the medic, would have been game over, I'd say. Would have been absolutely game over. And this is the problem. There is a lot of firepower here. We needed protect. We needed the guard. Hope is kind of curating, which is curing everybody. But like, I just need to throw the cures on Snow. And that's the other thing where you can't kind of just dismiss the magic stat. And ultimately, your magic is the strength of your healing and the strength of your damage. So for your spellcasters, it's like, no, the higher their magic, the better at healing they are. Now, later in the game, they get spells that, are better to use than others. And here I'm like, oh, I just barely saw the Gatling gun. Oh, quick, just provoke. And then just try and quickly get into a Steel Guard. No, Snow! Come on! Hope coming in clutch again with those two heals. Those heals probably were, 160, 175. They were definitely over 300, which is just what Snow had. So without having Hope on medic while Sentinel was active, we would have just, had to retried. Not the worst thing in the world, but it's just showing you that like sometimes, yes, you need to just take battles slower. And it's not going to be all just simple, quick and easy. You need to just kind of be having a situation where, we just have to turtle it out, get our defense on again, and just make sure everything is good. Look back to Gatling guns. Now we're like, okay, let's just try and provoke it. Okay, provokes up. Let's try and Steel Guard. And Steel Guard is on now. And once it gets to a certain point, it just lessens the damage until eventually Snow just manages to block all of it. But this is where it is actually active in the active time battle. Because it's like, right, that attack is over. There's a cooldown on that. I now can have healed up and can go on the offensive. And this is where, could you imagine being in a fight this long and then seeing, oh, my protect ran out and I'm going to have to go back to my synergist and put on protect again. So not only is Hope already a level 2 synergist, so his buffs last longer anyway, his weapon is specifically giving him a boost to those particular defensive buffs staying on even longer again. So now Steel Guard on, and again after a little while it'll just start blocking all the extra attacks. So Snow actually has full health there, literally full health, and now we can just start building our stagger. I probably should have had dual casting. Don't know why I didn't give Snow any Ravager at all. That was my mistake there. But with this end of this battle is actually going to come the end of the episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you guys again for another episode. Please leave a like, leave a comment. We're so close to 100 subs. If you know anybody that likes Final Fantasy games or RPGs in general, pass on my channel. I've been the RPG Recusant. You've been my lovely audience. Thank you for taking the time today. And I will see you next time. Have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Make my wish come true, let darkness